North Nashville this evening on a very blustery and coldy afternoon. We are going to be tracking this live throughout this evening. We have live team coverage across all of the mid-state, covering this from all angles. This is a storm that is far from over. I want to start this evening by kind of painting the picture of what we have. I'm sure a lot of you have been enjoying the snow this morning that we did pick up. A lot of this now has transitioned to a sleet. You may be able to hear it even off of my jacket. Sleet, again, is something that bounces on contact. They're tiny ice pellets, and we are continuing to expect this transition from sleet to freezing rain as we head into the evening hours, and that is when we are expecting most of the impact from this event. We'll start with a live look from the radar to show you that we are tracking snow mainly along and north of I-40. We'll continue to see snow pile up mainly in southern Kentucky and some of our northern counties as well, along with a sleet accumulation that'll be possible as we go into, I'd say, the next few hours. But that pink that you see on radar there, that is going to be freezing rain that continues to march north, eventually covering much of Middle Tennessee and parts of southern Kentucky as well. I want to take a look at our winter weather impact graphic. This is going to show you where we are most concerned with ice accumulation, and I will tell you this evening, the ice accumulations continue to go up. Where we're most concerned is going to be for places along and south of Nashville and west of Nashville, towards Dixon, out towards Linden, out into Perry and Wayne counties. These are areas that could find accumulating ice anywhere between 3/4 to 1 inch of ice as we go through this evening and into Sunday, resulting in widespread power outages, most likely. We'll have much more on when to expect what, when this all clears out, how long the impacts last. All coming up in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. Right now, we'll send it back in live to my colleague in a very warm studio, Scott Couch.
Katie, thank you very much. The impacts of the storm, as Katie mentioned, being felt across our region. Our live coverage continues now. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chen live downtown where the snow has been on the ground for about 7 hours. Amanda, you think everybody would be gone, but clearly you are not alone down there.
No, Scott, I am not. And as you mentioned, we are right here in the center of downtown on Broadway. And the storm has definitely not stopped people from coming out here. There was just a Preds game that got let out, and people inside told me it was pretty full. So, hey, people are still coming out. Now, I want to give you an example of what we're seeing right now. So I want you to look at this umbrella and the sleet. So you'll see the sleet coming down, and it's very light sleet right now, but it's popping off of the umbrella, which shows you that we are getting that sleet. Now, I've been in touch with the Nashville Office of Emergency Management, and they tell me the road conditions are continuing to deteriorate. So if you don't have to go out on the roads, they're asking everyone to please stay off of them. So far, Metro Police say they responded to about 39 crashes between 8:30 and 11:30 this morning. We are waiting on an updated number from them. Here's also some important information from OEM. The team has winter patrols out right now checking roads, outages, and folks who may be stranded. Now, we also saw Nashville Fire down here patrolling the downtown area a few hours ago. OEM also has cold patrols focused on wellness checks and helping the homeless community. We even caught up with a gentleman here feeding the homeless. He said there weren't a ton out, which is a good sign, but he did find some people and we got them as well.
Well, you got to pay it forward. There's still people out there and people need stuff. So, I've handed out blankets, food, and stuff, and it's just my way of doing a little bit of good for the world, so.
Now, we are waiting from a new update from OEM. I just spoke with them on the phone, and they tell me there should be an update around 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and we'll be sure to bring you those once we get them. I do want to show you just a last quick check of the roads right now here that we're seeing, just to give you some live conditions. You can see here the cars are still making their way down the road, but right now it's really just slush that they're driving on right now. Again, the sleet isn't coming down too hard right now, but again, as we've been mentioning all day, that potential for freezing rain could be very dangerous. So if you have to stay off the roads. Please stay off the roads. But for now, reporting live from downtown Nashville, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Amanda, thank you. Burr, this is a live look in Clarksville. Man, it just looks cold, doesn't it? They've got snow on the ground there, and they're expecting more as this winter storm continues tonight. Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan live in Clarksville, where police were busy earlier today with fender benders because of the snow. Madeline?
Oh, yes, Scott. You know, we're not seeing as much snowfall right now as we were earlier, but it's still bitter cold out here, and these roads are getting slicker by the second. Now, this pole right here behind me, a great example that even a quick trip outside could turn dangerous in a matter of moments. Clarksville Fire Rescue actually told me that trucks were speeding when they slipped and slid right into each other. One of those trucks slid right into the pole, knocking it down at the intersection of Wilma Rudolph Boulevard and Morris Road. Crews say thankfully no one was hurt. Now, we spoke with a family who was out shopping at Walmart, and they say they pulled up just after the crash and saw the aftermath.
Definitely not the first time I've seen anything like that. It's just some people never drove in the snow before, and from where I'm, like I said, I'm from Ohio, so like I'm used to it. Clarksville wasn't prepared for it, and here we are, witnesses to it.
Fire Rescue says that most of what they've dealt with today has been cars slipping and sliding, and they're asking everyone to take it easy, slow down, give yourself some extra time if you have to be out, and that is the main thing here, if you have to be out. Now, Clarksville Police Department say since around 10 a.m. they have responded to 12 different crashes. That's at least 12 different crashes this morning. Thankfully, no one has been hurt in those crashes, but it is a fair warning that it could get even worse as these conditions worsen over the weekend. Reporting live here in Clarksville, I'm Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. Still to come, obviously, snow falling across the mid-state. All the main roads were treated before it fell. Did it help? We'll have more on the conditions and how things are. Stay tuned to a special edition of Fox 17 News.
Died. Okay, can you hear me now? We just had to switch batteries. The batteries just died. Can you hear me now? We're very overmodulated. Hi, this is Hope Salmon with a mic check. The conditions here are definitely changing. We were out earlier and it was
Continuing coverage of the winter storm now as we try to answer one of the biggest questions that we get during the snow and ice. How are the roads? Here is a live look right now, Ellington Parkway near Broadmoor from one of the TDOT SmartWay traffic cameras. This road runs parallel with I-65. When 65 is busy, this is one of the roads during the commute you get on. You can see there's a few people on it, but more people moving in one direction than the other. Now, as we continue our live team coverage of this big winter storm, got to look at the conditions right now on the Cumberland Plateau. That's east of Nashville, about an hour, 15-20 minutes. Fox 17 News' Hope Salmon live in Cookeville, where she's been speaking with first responders. Hope, how are things there?
Well, I was speaking to people at Public Works who tell me they've been on the clock since last night, and they're not going to stop working until the conditions are better for people to drive in. And right now, that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case anytime soon. So earlier this morning, we saw a lot of snow. Now there's some freezing rain, and I want to give you a look at exactly what that seems to be showing out here. So over on the top of this car, you see that there's ice, and then under that there's some snow. But the worst part of this all, for people that even want to get into their cars, is this ice is stuck on really good. So this is just an example of what's going to be forming here on the ground. And this plow truck behind me is just one of the very many, even one right here to the side of it, are going out here. They're putting out a lot of salt on the roads, they tell me, as of right now, because there isn't enough snow accumulating on the roads, but they're really trying to get ahead of all of the ice that might end up just freezing over onto the roads, making it very difficult for people to drive in.
We've got crews that'll off and on throughout the night and in the day. They'll spend upwards of 12 to 16 hours, not necessarily consecutive. We do try to come in for, dinner breaks. We get a little bit of rest.
Spoke with is one of the people that's been out here since 8 o'clock last night, and he tells me that they're just going to keep working throughout the night. They're taking a couple of lunch breaks here and there, but the big goal is to make sure that when people are going to start getting back onto the roads early into next week or into the middle of next week, that it's just as safe as possible. So they ask at this time, if you don't have to be out on the roads, don't go out, because you're just going to get in their way and maybe end up in a really dangerous situation, as you saw from all of the ice that's already forming out here in Cookeville. I'm reporting live in Cookeville. I'm Hope Salmon, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Oh, thank you. Now, how much ice you'll get on top of the snow depends on where you are. One of the parts of the Mid-South bracing for significant impact in terms of ice, Williamson County. And Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino live down in Franklin to tell us about the conditions there. Kelly?
Scott, we're in downtown Franklin, and as you can tell, it is certainly winter. I've got my yardstick here. We're looking at about an inch or so of accumulation so far, and this snow is a mix really between snow and either a freezing rain or a sleet. It's wet, it's kind of heavy, and the roads are very slushy. Not extremely treacherous right now, but certainly slushy, and we know the temperature is only going to go down, which means this is all going to turn to ice. Now, earlier today, we were at the Williamson County Emergency Operations Center, the hub there, which had several dozen people monitoring now 24/7 for the next 4 days. Road conditions, weather conditions, everything possible that might need a response here in Williamson County and also in Franklin. I spoke to the head communications director there. She tells us kind of some bad news. They're now expecting more ice in this area than previously. Take a listen.
We were in the National Weather Service afternoon briefing, and they reduced the snow totals that our area is supposed to get to 1 to 3 inches, and increased the ice amounts to from ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch, which doesn't sound a lot, but that is a lot on a power line or on a tree branch.
And as we know, that weight on power lines and tree branches can bring down power, and especially with these freezing temperatures, that could be an issue. There are warming shelters on standby in Williamson County, but it's going to depend on where the need is. We'll certainly keep you informed there as soon as any one of them might open if we do start to see some outages. For now, it is just very cold, and the main word is stay off the roads if you do not have to be out. In Franklin, I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Thanks so much, Kelly. And again, we are just getting started, unfortunately, with the main impact from this event. And Kelly was doing a great job there explaining about the ice being one of the big issues. We have continued to see sleet and snowfall, but we're starting to see that transition. You could see in Hope's live shot of freezing rain. And all of this here has to move our way as we go into tonight and into tomorrow as well. We are increasing our confidence in the areas of greatest ice impact. Southwest counties from from Nashville Metro are going to be the areas hit the hardest, it looks like, and power outages will likely go up. As we go into the next, all right, we're going to go back to Scott.
It's all the time we have. I want to thank you for tuning in to this special edition, and we are going to have another edition of Fox 17 News for you coming up during the...
This was a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bart Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.